Catherine here. I've been helping people suffering from kidney disease avoiding dialysis for more than 10 years now. And I'm here today to tell you that there is hope for your kidneys, even if you are in stage 4 or 5 of CKD. But before I do that, let me ask you a question. How many of you like milk? Well, I used to love milk before I found out that milk and dairy products in general are too high in phosphorus and they can actually be harmful for basically anyone suffering from kidney disease. But hey, the bright side is that replacing these foods with foods that can actually help the kidneys can make a tangible difference. That's right. And this is one of the most valuable lessons that I've learned over these years. And it's a simple lesson. There are supplements, treatments, dietary changes, and lifestyle choices that can make a difference, that can help you improve your GFR numbers. But they only work if you are doing your best to make them work. This means that you have to be proactive, informed, and motivated to take care of your kidneys. You have to be willing to learn about your condition and learn what adjustments to your diet and lifestyle are the most useful. This is why if you've been diagnosed with chronic kidney disease stage 4 or 5, you should never lose hope. You should never stop trying to get better, no matter the stage of kidney disease you are in, no matter what your doctor may have told you. This is why today I want to share with you 6 steps every single CKD patient in stage 4 and 5 pre-dialysis should be taking in order not just to stop the decline of their GFR, but to improve their numbers. Yes, this is possible, says science. So let's start with what I consider the most powerful superfood in the world when it comes to improving your GFR. This is a favorite of vegans because it is one of the best plant-based sources of iron in existence. It's also incredibly high in calcium with over 26 times the calcium in milk. And it contains many of the vitamins someone with kidney problems needs the most, including vitamin B1, B3, and B6, and also folic acid, vitamin C, and more. I'm talking about spirulina. Yes, this is a superfood I always want in my diet. And I recommend taking around 1 teaspoon of spirulina before going to sleep for many reasons actually. First of all, it can help decrease blood sugar levels, which is incredibly helpful for those with diabetes. If that isn't enough, spirulina can also help controlling blood pressure significantly, as well as cholesterol levels and body weight. Various studies confirm all these properties, as you can see here. Yes, spirulina is amazing, and researchers believe that these very positive kidney protecting benefits are due to the powerful antioxidant effect this alga has in the body. We also know that, in general, 1 to 8 grams per day of spirulina has been shown to produce benefits. So here's my advice about this superfood. Take it in the evening or before going to bed. The reason is the high content of tryptophan in spirulina. This is an essential amino acid that the body uses to produce both serotonin, which is key for mental health, and melatonin. Melatonin is the sleep hormone, and having a food rich in tryptophan before sleep may be a serious help in sleeping better, which is key to protect the kidneys. Yes, this explains, at least in part, why spirulina is so good for you. And while I don't recommend spirulina to those suffering from autoimmune diseases such as lupus or rheumatoid arthritis, this superfood has too many benefits not to be part of a real diet. And make sure you find a brand that certifies the purity of the product. Now when it comes to spirulina, also keep in mind that it's a protein source. For example, if you take half tablespoon of spirulina or 3.5 grams, you'll be getting around 2 grams of protein. And while that's not too much, you still want to make sure you are keeping track of all the protein you are getting every day, spirulina included. And guys, it's clear that managing protein in the renal diet is one of the most important aspects of managing kidney disease. But I won't go too much in depth about that today. So if you want to know more about this part of the treatment for kidney disease, please Watch my video up here and also down in the description. Now a very important question, and I'm sure many of you are wondering the same thing. Is it really possible to improve your GFR in stage 4 and 5 of CKD? The answer is yes. It is possible. And I'm not just saying that because I want you to feel better. I'm saying that based on scientific evidence from a study published in the journal PLOS ONE. This study analyzed the data of 406 patients with CKD. The researchers found that 62 patients, 15.3%, showed a sustained improvement in their GFR over time with an average increase of 1.88 milliliters per minute per year. These patients who reversed kidney disease progression had various types of CKD, and many of them were in stage 5 pre-dialysis. So, what does this mean for you? It means that you have a chance to improve your kidney health even if you are in the advanced stages of CKD. It means that you should not give up on your kidneys, but rather work with your doctor to find the best treatment plan for your condition. It means that you should follow the steps that I'm going to outline today, which are based on the most recent scientific breakthroughs and are proven to help slow down or reverse the progression of CKD. Now, the aim of this study was not just to prove that GFR improvement is possible in CKD patients at any stage through stage 4 and 5, but also to identify what factors are associated with GFR improvement, alright? Very important question. What factors are key to reverse the decline of GFR? In the study we just examined, a higher number of therapeutic targets achieved directly correlated with an increased chance of stopping or reversing the decline of CKD. It's clear that we want to be 100% sure we are actually achieving these targets. The study outlined 5 therapeutic targets. Let's see what they are. First, blood pressure. It's clear that managing this aspect is crucial. Second is proteinuria. Spoiler alert, this turned out to be the most important factor. More about this later in this video. Third, use of renin-angiotensin system blocker. Fourth, also very important, the number of complications present. Anemia, hyperphosphatemia, metabolic acidosis, and hyperkalemia. Solving these complications really made a huge difference. Fifth, diabetes. Also very important to manage, obviously. So, let's see how are you supposed to achieve the targets outlined by this very important study. Keeping your pressure in check was the first point on the list. Guys, I cannot stress how important it is to maintain a pressure below 130 over 80 millimeters of mercury. Make sure you are not over this limit. Now, in my videos, I usually focus on natural ways to achieve this very important target. Regular exercise, limiting sodium consumption, keeping the right weight, and even certain natural supplements are all going to help. But you know, not everyone is able to keep their blood pressure in check without medications. And that's fine. It's not your fault. You can still take medications for blood pressure and improve, but you have to make sure you are taking the right ones. Now, this is a bit of complex topic. This is why I've made a full video about it recently. It's up here if you want to know more, and also down in the description. Now, another very important therapeutic target is controlling diabetes, according to this study. Improvers had diabetes mellitus less often than non-improvers. What this means is that someone with diabetes is less likely to improve, unfortunately. But it's not impossible to improve, even if you have diabetes. Actually, of the 62 people that improved their GFR, 9 had diabetes. But also keep in mind that diabetes can be reversed, and this is key to protect the kidneys. And I've talked more in depth about diabetes and how to control it in my video up here and also down in the description. Now, there is something even more important than diabetes and high blood pressure. Don't skip the next point if you want to have the biggest chance possible of reversing the decline of your GFR numbers. Step 5. Take care of the complications. Complications are, in short, all those issues that are caused by kidney disease and that can actually damage the kidneys. Hyperphosphatemia, metabolic acidosis, anemia, hyperkalemia, and elevated parathyroid hormone. They all need to be taken care of if present. Now, the problem with complications is that most doctors overlook them. Anemia is a typical example. Anemia causes a lot of issues, including fatigue, and there is no doubt that it makes GFR decline at a faster rate. Now, the biggest problem, not enough patients are being treated, and most patients are not even actually being tested. This is why I encourage you to get informed about it if you have any of the symptoms, including fatigue, shortness of breath, headaches, but also cold hands and feet. Watch my video about anemia if you miss it. It's up here and also down in the description. Now, thyroid problems are also underdiagnosed, just like anemia. Most people who have thyroid problems are not actually diagnosed. Hypothyroidism, which is a condition where the thyroid gland does not produce enough thyroid hormones, is especially common in those with CKD. Hyperthyroidism can cause symptoms such as fatigue, weight gain, cold intolerance, dry skin, hair loss, constipation, depression, and cognitive impairment. However, some of these symptoms may overlap with those of CKD or other comorbidities, making it difficult to diagnose hyperthyroidism in people with CKD. Ask your doctor to be tested. Thyroid problems can be treated, and this may lead to an improvement in kidney function. Another very common and dangerous complication is hyperphosphatemia, or too high phosphorus levels. Hyperphosphatemia is often present when metabolic acidosis, or too much acidity in the body, is also present. They can all be dealt with the right diet, a diet without meat, dairy, fish, and processed foods. Hyperkalemia, or too high potassium levels, is another complication that many patients have to deal with. Now, this is a controversial issue. You see, for decades, high potassium levels were considered mainly caused by reduced GFR and by foods rich in potassium. Today, we know that is not the case. What actually causes hyperkalemia are conditions such as unmanaged diabetes, metabolic acidosis, but also taking ARBs and ASI. Eating less potassium doesn't really help keeping potassium levels under control. If you have any of these, make sure you are being tested and treated adequately, because they can make your GFR numbers decline faster. And by the way, I made a full video about each of these complications. So if you need to know more about any of them, just ask in the comment section and I will give you a link. Number 6, this is probably the most important step in order to reverse the decline of your GFR numbers. Step 6, beat proteinuria. This step is definitely one of the most important things you can do to help your kidneys. Proteinuria, also known as protein in urine or albuminuria, is the most powerful predictor of kidney function decline in all the stages, which means that there is no improving if proteinuria level is not under control, and this is true for people in all the stages of kidney disease. So when it comes to proteinuria, our goal should be to keep this level below 30 milligrams per gram, because as we can see here, the higher is proteinuria, the higher the chance of kidney disease progressing to a worse stage. Okay, so how do you make sure your proteinuria is not too high? There are various strategies that actually work. There is a vitamin that's needed to keep proteinuria under control. There are foods that can help. And of course, there are medications that can be used. There are actually 2 new medications that doctors are just starting to prescribe and that can make a huge difference with proteinuria and consequently with CKD. I've talked more in depth about this in my recent video. It's up here and also down in the description. And this is all for today. Thank you for watching. God bless you all.